first met Gary, I would say about 31 years ago, or something in that range. And that was, I came to Franklin Hospital, and I was doing my first case in the OR, and this kind of like heavy-set guy is pushing the stretch and said, "Do you want me to help you with your surgery?" And I said, "Well, exactly who are you?" He said, "I'm Gary Walter." I said, "Oh, are you one of the doctors here?" He says, "No, but I'll help you with the surgery." And I looked at him like he had three eyes. And then slowly but surely I realized that not only did he help with the surgery, but he took the patients in and out. He sat with the families. He mopped the floor. He cleaned the instruments. He would scrub in over. Gary was a man who did everything or anything, and then had a full-time job going in the morning to the city to work at Theo Walters, and then at noon or 1 o'clock, there he was in the OR working with us. An amazing human being.
Yeah, I know Gary over 30 years.
Okay.
Matter of fact, when I got married 31 years ago, I bought my wedding ring from Gary. So that's just with that, so you can imagine it was a long time before that. And, my father as well, my father and mother, they sitting there love. They're down in North Carolina. And I just told them last night because I just found out yesterday.
Okay. Oh.
So they were truly surprised.
Yeah.
But as far as knowing Gary, one of the nicest people I ever met, would do anything for anybody. And that's for sure, as long as I know him. So that's my memories. Always happy, always on the move. Former, we were on the same softball team.
Okay. Oh, so you played with him?
Yeah. Yeah, me and my father both, we played with the doctors and
Yeah.
Channel 2 News, the whole thing.
Right.
So,
Right.
a lot of good times.
That's great. And you bought his or Marlene's car? Whose
Yeah,
car
my
did
father bought the Lincoln, yeah. Don't have it anymore, we had it for a long time.
you had it for a long time. Yeah.
How long have you two known Gary?
55 years.
Okay.
Approximately 55 years.
And how did you guys meet?
Us,
No,
Well,
like, yeah.
Gary and I know each other because our fathers
Friends.
belonged to the same athletic club in Manhattan for years, called Lone Star Boat Club. That's where Gary and I met.
Okay. You ready?
And we met, Gary and Marlene and Mickey and I met each other at one of the Lone Star functions up in the mountains. And first time we spent a long weekend together up at a hotel in the
No
Catskills.
hanky-panky.
No hanky-panky, because none of us were married yet.
So what has it meant to be friends with Gary and Marlene? But as we reflect, of course, on Gary himself, what has it meant to the two of you?
Probably two of the nicest people we've ever known in our lives.
They're family.
It's family.
Can't talk. You're going to do this to me.
Sorry.
What it is?
Like I
Gary
said,
is probably one of the most wonderful, generous, loyal, outstanding friends you could have.
and as is Marlene and his friends, you couldn't ask for better friends. Simple as
He
that.
was always there whenever we needed him. Corey came today when she saw him, my daughter. She said, Gary used to sit with me in all the doctor's offices and all the ultrasound offices. And now I'm here with you to take care of you.
Gary always had a way to make any negative a positive. And Gary was always there when you felt negative and made you feel positive. And he would always say to you, "Okay, friend, I love you." And when it came from Gary, or he'd say, "Friend, it'll be all right," you knew it was always going to be all right. Gary could always make a bad thing good and a bad time easier.
I've known Gary since 1970. And Gary came over to me and asked me to, if I would do some work in his house, decorating in his house for, Ira was having his bar mitzvah. And I said yes. And I went and I decorated his house and for the bar mitzvah, and I've been part of this family ever since.
How would you describe the kind of man Gary is and what he means to you?
Well, Gary's unique and exceptional And I've said that he's really the only, I've never seen another man like Gary. And what I liked about Gary was Gary had respect for everybody, whether they were wealthy or whether they were just ordinary people, middle class or the low class people. And he associated with everybody and gave everybody the same amount of respect. And you see everybody at Gary's house, all races and ethnic groups and whatever. But with Gary, it didn't make any difference. And he treated everybody with respect, which is very rare. And he put his arm around me, and he was instrumental in making things very, very, very profitable for me as long as I've known him. And I consider Gary like my best friend and my brother.
Hmm.
And there's only going to be one Gary. They only come along once in a while. And he's a hero. It's loved by everybody that came in contact with him. And out of all the people that I've known that knows Gary, I don't know anyone that has anything to say about Gary, but that he's a wonderful person. And they're fortunate to be able to have had the experience of me knowing and sharing life with him.
That's wonderful.
I will remember him as long as I'm on this earth. I will be, love him like a brother. We talked. We didn't see each other often in the later years, but he always called me, and we talked. And he has a picture of myself and him in his bedroom next to his bed. And every time I talk to him, he says, "I still have my picture of you and I."
So what you don't know about your grandfather is that he is a horrible golfer. I used to run the golf tournament at Franklin, and your grandfather was always there. And one day he says, "I want to play in the golf tournament." And I say, "Gary, you can play paddleball, you can play racquetball, you probably can even play handball, but golf isn't your game. I can play golf." Well, we were playing at Seawain Golf Course, and he got in the first hole and put the ball in. And after he dug up the entire tee box, they never let us on Seawain again. So, believe it or not, great athlete, great person, but a terrible golfer.
Gary was a very unique man. He was one of a kind. So many times I happened to see him, ladies, go for lunch, environmental ladies, just buying lunch or dinner, whatever. He would just throw $20 or $40 right there and say, "Hey, just pay for it, without asking." And he would walk away. He wouldn't even wait for you to say thanks. It's just he was
Very generous.
Yeah, very generous. It came from his heart. He didn't do things to say thanks. He did things because he from his heart, he just wanted to do it.
I understand, yeah.
And he's going to be missed by every one of us in this hospital.